Hey, what's up everyone? Tim here from Everyday Tactical Vids, and as you can see, today we're looking at the Thrunite TC20 flashlight. It's been a while since we've seen something come out from Thrunite. They sent me this for review. I've been using it for a bit, and I do like it. I think there's some pretty cool features. You're getting almost 4,000 lumens at the highest setting. I do want to mention to you that I'll be reviewing this one individually, and then Thrunite has sponsored a head-to-head between this one and a Phoenix flashlight, which is similar. So we'll be doing another video, which is a head-to-head between those two lights. But today, let's talk about this light. Let me give you some of the details, and then we're going to take it out into the night and use it. Here's a look at everything you get when you order it. You're going to get the flashlight. Included inside the flashlight is the rechargeable 26-650 battery. You're going to get the holster. You're going to get the USB cord to recharge it. You're going to get that little bag that has a lanyard. It's got a couple extra O-rings, and then it's got a replacement for the rubber thing that covers up the charging port in the flashlight. It does come in the standard brown Thrunite box, and then you get your user manual and then a little bit of paperwork from Thrunite. As far as your price point, you're looking at just around $90 for this light if you pick it up on Amazon, and I've got links down below in the description section. Here's a look at the light in the sheath. Pretty standard. These sheaths are good, they're functional, they're nothing to write home about, but they definitely get the job done. I will mention to you, just be careful that when you have it in the sheath, you can see where the button is, so just be careful you don't bump that, and you may want to just check back regularly to make sure that you didn't accidentally bump it and turn the light on, because obviously that'll drain out your battery. But sheath does the job. You've got a loop here to run your belt through. It is not, there's no hook and loop, so you can't detach it and then put it on. You have to actually run your belt through. It is stitched. And then you got a pretty hefty plastic D-ring up there on the top. Here's a look at your micro USB port. And so you just plug it in there, and then you plug the other end into a computer. I'll roll in footage here. I plug this into an iPhone, outlet charger, and then plug it in to the wall. When the little light here is red, that means it's not fully charged and it's in the process of charging. When it's blue, it means it's fully charged. If it glows purple, that means maybe you haven't plugged it in properly or there's something abnormal going on with the charging. I do want to mention to you that while it's charging, you can use it, but it's only at the Firefly, the low, and the medium level. All right, let me take a minute and show you how the light actually functions, and we'll go through the lumens and the run times, and I'll shine it down here on the table. It doesn't give you a great sense of the brightness or the power of the light, but we'll go out into the night in a couple minutes here and use it. So your first setting is Firefly. You hold it down, comes on extremely low. You can barely see it there, but that is on. That is 0.5 lumens. That's going to run for 37 days. So it's going to go Firefly, low, medium, high, and turbo. Your low is 38 lumens. That's for 46 hours. That'll run. Medium is 320 lumens, that's 10.2 hours that's going to run. And your high is 1800 lumens, that's for 145 minutes. And then your turbo is 3800 lumens, that's going to run for 130 minutes. So you're going to hold down the button, and it's going to come on at Firefly. And then when you hold it down, it's going to cycle through low, medium, high, and then back to low. It doesn't cycle all the way back down to Firefly. So here's low, medium, high, low, medium, high, low. Double click, it'll go to turbo, again 3800 lumens, and then double click again, and it'll go to strobe. So strobe warning here, double click for turbo, double click strobe, and then click it again, and it goes off. Nice size light. I mean, it doesn't feel that heavy, honestly, in hand. When you hold it, you're not like, man, this thing is just overwhelming. EDC light, yeah, if you use the holster, definitely not something I'm just gonna drop into my pocket. But yeah, just good solid construction. One thing I tell you is that it will roll. You put it on a table, and it's going to roll. So they put a little knurling up here. That might have been a little bit nicer, but overall, just it feels like a solid light when you pick it up. You don't think, oh, this thing is poorly made or anything like that. So that's definitely a plus. Let me give you some of the specs as far as the details. It's an XHP70 LED, anti-reflective coated ultra clear toughened glass lens. You can see that orange peel style inside for your reflector. 6061 aluminum. It's hard anodized on the outside. Your weight is 148 grams, which I'll roll in right here. What that is in ounces. Impact resistant to 1.5 meters. Waterproof, IPX8 rated, so down to 2 meters. So pretty standard for a lot of the Thrunite flashlights out there. So that's the rundown on the details. Let's take it out into the night and use it. I'm outside now. We're going to run through the settings. Let's start with the Firefly. Can't really see anything on camera. It is on though. Let's do low, medium, high. There's low, my car about 10 feet away. Medium, and there's high. Yeah, so I'm in car's probably about 15 feet away. So again, lots of light here. And as I'm on my front porch now, let me just show you looking around here. I can easily see out to the end of the driveway, no problem whatsoever. See the car. I mean, I'm shining it in the middle of the front yard. There's some snow to reflect, but yeah, man, if I was out here and someone was in the front yard, there's no way they're hiding from me out here. And that's just at high. Let's go to turbo. Yeah, I mean, you don't see a huge difference on camera, but once again, I mean, I'm seeing everything totally fine out here. And again, the light in my hand, I mean, you can see it, very easy to grab a hold of at 26,650. So if you're keeping this in the house to check around for emergencies, or you hear something in the front yard, the backyard, whatever it is, and you want to go look, this thing is giving you a ton of light for a very compact flashlight. So I'm going to check this out in the kitchen. So let's start it on Firefly setting. Can't really see a whole lot on camera, but there's my hand, so that definitely is working. As I mentioned before, that's 0.5 lumens. Let's go to low. That's 38 lumens. So there's low, giving some good light here in the kitchen. I could easily see around the kitchen, no problem whatsoever right now. Let's go up to medium, which is 320 lumens. Definitely a lot of light. If I set this up on the island there, this would definitely light up the kitchen for, yeah, I mean, no problem whatsoever. And again, that 320 lumens is going to run for 10.2 hours. That's a lot of time. Let's go up to high now, which is 1800 lumens. So we'll go on low, medium. There's high. Obviously, even more light, obviously, because it's high. 145 minutes for that, and plenty to see around. Let's go up to the highest now, the turbo, which is 3800 lumens. Yeah, I mean, that's like almost like having the full-fledged lights on at this point. Let me readjust the camera just to bring it down a little bit. But that is a ton of light here in this room. So yeah, I mean, as something you kept around the house, other than Firefly, just to kind of creep around the house and not wake somebody up at night, even just going from there up to, let me turn it up to the next one, which is low. And that again is 38 lumens, and you could definitely get around the house just fine. You could light up a room, set this on the table, light up the room, and that's going to burn for a long time. 38 lumens is going to run for 46 hours. So as far as emergency light, this thing can run for 2 days straight if you lost the power. So let's just say half the time you need it on. So that's going to be basically for 4 days. For all practical purposes, you can have light to light up a room, or to get around the house in a power outage. All right, guys, you can see I'm out in the woods now. Let's talk about the TC20 as a camping light, around camp. Maybe you throw it in your pack because, by the time you're heading back to camp after a hike, it's going to be nighttime. So let's compare it to this right here, which is the Nightstick 2422. And this is definitely a budget-friendly light. It's going to be around 20 bucks, 25 bucks, maybe 30. Let's look at this one. The output on this is 130. So let's just do a little comparison here. So we'll start off the Firefly setting. I'm not going to use, but let me turn off the TC20. Here's the Nightstick light. I mean, I can see that tree right in front of me, which is probably about 20 feet away, 15 feet away. I can see some trees a little bit in the distance, but that's it. That's your only option. You do have kind of a flood option with this, but you can barely see anything on camera. So 130, I got the Firefly on. Comparing low on the TC20 to low on the Nightstick, you can not low on the Nightstick, the only option on the Nightstick. You can see that tree, I can see that tree. So low on this, which is the TC20, I can still see just as fine as 130 on the Nightstick. You go up one more level to medium, and I can see everything here in the woods in front of me. Shining it right at the tree in front of me, I can see not 180 degrees, but probably 120 degrees. Go up to the next level. That high, I can see everything awesome with this. So just to give you a sense, yeah, you're paying a lot less money for this 2422. Look at this. You are legit lighting up the night, man. That is a lot. Again, in this compact little size. Let me shine my light over here now. In that compact little size in my hand, you're getting a lot of light. And this is a nice mix of a little bit of a hotter center, but in general, it's kind of a small floodlight, I would say. So that's really good. You don't have a very hot center at all, as I'm looking at it, both on camera and just around, shining around. So it's like a tiny little spotlight in the palm of your hand. Last thing I'll say here as we think about this TC20 from Thrunite is, you're going to get plenty of burn time even on your high setting. You're going to be able to hike for quite a while and do a lot of things around camp, even on that very high setting. You're probably going to use it on a lower setting, Firefly for moving around at night. you know, when everybody else is asleep and you got to go out to use the bathroom or something. But, you know, in a most basic level, even on medium, plenty of light to get around camp, do things around camp. So, I don't know if you guys can hear, but there's definitely, I think we got some deer out in the woods over this hill in front of me. Can hear them running off in the distance. Anyhow, yeah, you're gonna get a lot of burn time in a very compact package here with the TC20. So you've seen this light in action on camera here. What I want to do is use it for a little bit more of an extended time, so it's not just one-time use. But next time I report in, I'll let you know what I think about this and how it's holding up, and any issues or any more highlights from the TC20. All right, guys, back in the studio to wrap up here, talking about the Thrunite TC20. And you saw it in use on camera, and then I also use it just around the house, out in the woods. Actually heard a deer out in the woods the other night, went looking for it with this thing. One of the ways I've used it a lot is just turning it on and putting it on the table to light up the kitchen when I was just, you know, doing stuff around the house at night in the kitchen. And it gives plenty of light. It's not as good as a light shining down, obviously, because it has to shine up and then reflect out. But nonetheless, it's worked quite well in all the different ways I've used it. So a couple things I want to note. First is that I've heard a variety of people talk about the little USB cover right here. And just be aware, you know, you're messing with it, you're pulling on it, and it looks like the rounded end, let's see if I can hold it up here. The rounded end is where you would pull it out, but actually it's the other end that you loosen up. So I know some people who have been messing with it, myself included, trying to pull that rounded end out, and you pull the whole thing out. You can just pop it back in, but just, you know, a little heads up there. I will tell you something interesting. The other night I was out with my wife and we were driving around and we saw a couple deer cross the road. So we stopped and I said, let me see a flashlight. Let's look into the woods. So we took out this, which is the Nightcore Mh 27UV. Good light, lots of throw, nice hot center. But you shine it into the woods and it's pretty direct at one spot. You know, it's got that hot center. This, on the other hand, gives you a nice flood, so you can really see a wide variety of area. So if you want something to throw super far but not a lot of flood, something like this might be better. I do think this is going to become my car light that I keep in there for, you know, if I got to shine some light to do a repair or I'm looking for something. I don't need a ton of throw and, you know, a hot center beam. I need more of a flood generally for the car, and so I like the fact that, you know, this gives you that option. The other thing is you get that Firefly all the way up to almost 4,000 lumens, so nice spread of, as far as, you know, your lumen output. And then your battery, the fact that it's rechargeable, it's USB rechargeable. I do want to mention the battery here, a 26650 battery, kind of a unique style compared to, you know, 18650s or AA's, AAA's, etc. But it's got a lot of bang for the buck. It's going to last a long time, and the fact that it's rechargeable just with a USB, especially in your car, if you've got one of those, you know, basically cigarette lighter adapters where you can plug a USB and then a micro USB in this end, you're good to go. EDC, not for me. I carry an EDC flashlight in my pocket. I don't carry a holster. If you're working at a place where you need a light that's got pretty good output, you know, a lot of output, 3,800 lumens, you can just put it in the holster and carry it down your hip. The weight, they're about equal between these two. This is definitely a tactical flashlight. I wouldn't EDC this without a pouch, without a holster. I wouldn't just, you know, put this in a pocket. It's just too big. But, you know, these guys are comparable in weight and size-wise. Thickness, kind of similar. This one's thicker at the bezel end and thinner at the other end. But yeah, just, you know, flood versus a hot beam. I do think the TC20 is a good kind of overall flashlight. If you didn't want to put this in your car, putting it in an emergency bag or putting it in, you know, having it at home for emergency situations could be great. And those 26650 batteries, like 18650s, they'll hold a charge for a long time. So you want to check on them every once in a while, but I've had 18650s I've kept in the car for, I mean, months in the cold, and then I come back and they're still ready to go, no issues whatsoever. I will tell you that, you know, when you're going to be investing a decent amount of money into a flashlight, you want it to last for a long time. I don't like to speak about my personal experience with Thrunite as far as customer service because I'm working with them. So I want to talk about somebody who's a customer, you know, just buying a flashlight, and if they have to contact Thrunite for anything, what's their experience like? From the people I've talked to, it's been good. They haven't had any issues. Thrunite will replace, fix, or help you figure out how to fix your light. You know, some people call and say, my light's not working, and they say, well, have you taken the little plastic film out that's blocking the connection when we ship it? Oh yeah, thanks, and they'll, you know, get that squared away. But again, the people I've talked to have had good experience as far as the the customer service with Thrunite. Now, long-term durability of this light, I haven't had it for 6 months, so I can't tell you about that. I have dropped it a couple times. Sometimes I drop lights purposely to test it out. It's worked fine. Other times I just knock it over and it falls on the ground. No issues whatsoever. Light's still working totally fine. And yeah, I'm generally a guy who, I want from Firefly up to a higher output. I don't use strobe, but maybe if you need it, it's nice to have, those features built into a light that you purchase. As long as I've got that Firefly setting up to the high setting, kind of the bonus features as far as lumen outputs or what they do, I'm not really overly concerned about. So at this point, yeah, good experience with the TC20 from Thrunite. If you have this light, if you've purchased it and you like it, and as you've used it, you found advantages to it or even some challenges, then let's hear it in the comment section down below. What do you think about it? So far for me, so I've worked with Thrunite for probably, 2 or 3 years, and I've reviewed probably 20 lights, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less from them. This is probably in the top 5 just for its functionality, what it does, how it works overall, what it offers you, size. I just think there's a lot of utility options for a light like the TC20. So check it out. Let's hear your thoughts and your comments. If you have questions, certainly comment down below, and I'll try to get back to you and let you know, what I know about the light, and I can contact Thrunite if you've got specific questions that I haven't covered in this video. All right, that's it. Thanks as always for checking out the videos. If you haven't done so already, please click that little red subscribe button and subscribe to Everyday Tactical Vids, and then click that bell to get notifications so you know when we put new videos up. Again, I mentioned this earlier, but we'll be doing a head-to-head between this and a very similar light to this that Phoenix makes, so stay tuned for that video. We're on all the social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr as well, and as I always say, more videos coming soon. Take care.